Welcome to Phocuswright Europe Online 2020 and to our Diversity and Leadership programming. My name is Kimberly Newbury and I'm the Vice President of Sales at Phocuswright, where we, like many of you, are evaluating our diversity initiatives within our company, as well as asking ourselves personally about how we want to take action today that will impact the long-term perspectives of our companies, our schools, our communities, and our families as we grow into the future. This session is designed to help us to explore the topic through the lens of the travel industry. We'll talk about how diverse leadership impacts company culture, innovation, adaptability, and profitability, as well as some practical advice on how we can get there from here. This session is sponsored by the World Aviation Festival, whose audience is also joining us now. Phocuswright and World Aviation Festival are committed to providing a platform to amplify voices that seek development and growth toward more diverse representative companies in the travel industry. Both my colleague Jill Menz and I will be monitoring and reading out questions during the Q&A breaks. You'll see a chat icon at the bottom of your screen where you can write in and send your questions. We are not in Amsterdam, Phocuswright, or London, WAF friends. We're in home offices. We're in kitchens and spare bedrooms. We're avoiding pets, partners, and children while we try to run multinational companies to startups from closets and sometimes taking calls in parked cars. We are resilient. We are the travel industry, and we will survive this, and we will thrive, and we will be back in Amsterdam and London and probably Tahiti and the Seychelles and Hawaii. And being here today means that you believe that too. So thank you. As this is one of the first sessions many of you are participating in, I'll take a moment to share the upcoming plan for the days ahead. As a global primary research firm, Phocuswright is committed to sharing key data to inform strategy and steer change. Sound, fact-based data is exactly what this industry needs to recover and thrive into travel's new era. We've divided up the program so you can access specific themes each day during the afternoon in Europe. The networking platform that enables you to search for attendees and make meetings is live throughout the event. As you can see, the schedule is pretty clearly laid out with topical content to steer the conversations. Yesterday, we hosted our Young Leaders program, which was fantastic. Tomorrow, we'll look at innovation, where you'll see startups and more established companies pitching and presenting ideas on how we can become more creative and efficient. Wednesday and Thursday of next week is our center stage presentation content, along with breakout sessions and roundtables. This is really our core content where we'll discuss our research with industry leaders. If you haven't yet signed up for breakout sessions or roundtables, please do. These are a great way to do sort of organic networking in a virtual space, but you do have to sign up and capacity is limited. For our friends joining us at World Aviation Festival, if you're not yet registered, visit the event site at any time, where you'll find all the info you need. On to our program. What's it like to be chairwoman for one of the most influential OTAs in the world? And how does she envision the role of women and diversity and the future of travel companies? Gillian Tans of Booking.com is here, and she'll talk with us and our very own Jill Menz. She might even reveal why 7 is her lucky number. Jamie Lee Abtar, the executive director from BAME Women in Travel, has put together a fantastic panel. They're a group of experts who will talk about the business case for diversity and inclusion. They'll identify how travel companies can increase representation through education and analyze internal practices, including policies and recruitment efforts. I'm so excited to hear what they have to say. And they're going to give us some actionable steps and tools that we can put in place so we can look inward at our own organizations. We'll wrap that up with Q&A. Jamie Lee will also tell us how her first job in travel has some similarities to what she's doing now. Coming up directly after that is a networking session, or the Expedia Ally Skills Workshop for those of you who've registered. If you did register for that session, you should have received a calendar invite with a link to the session. Our facilitators, Zach Rubenstein and Rachel Luff, want to create and respect a safe space, so please be on time for that session. So how did we get here? Our theme for our global conference in 2019 was, are we there yet? As far as diversity and leadership in the travel industry is concerned, we still have a long way to go. At Phocuswright, probably like a lot of your companies, we've always worked hard to put diverse voices on stage at our events and represent different perspectives in our research and editorial. But we've received feedback that let us know we needed to do more. And we needed to be intentional about it. It wasn't going to happen organically. So in 2018, true to our core, we started with a research study on gender equity. We collected a host of stories from many of you around initiatives that support women's leadership in the industry. We shared the results in sessions at our European and global events, and also later throughout the year on Phocuswright. There were tons of great thought leadership articles and opinion pieces that were around women's leadership, and more recently on diversity and inclusion. In an effort to expand our understanding, in 2019, we signed on to the CEO Action for Diversity and Inclusion, and we'll have a little bit more on that later. Our plan had really always been to expand from women only into a broader discussion of diversity. And then this summer happened. We realized that the moment is now. Even if we may have been talking about diversity and inclusion in our organizations, topics like systemic racism, privilege, allyship, advocacy, representation, anti-racism have all become much more prevalent discussions this summer, both personally and professionally. An active commitment to change has become more urgent. Our industry is all about bringing people together and celebrating difference. And the more we learn where we actually are, the more we realize how far we have to go. Changing our narrow focus on women to broadly discuss diversity and leadership enables us to expand our vision and to serve the industry and the people in it more effectively. We have 45 global mentors in our network who've been involved in launching or forwarding initiatives designed to move women into leadership positions in the travel industry. Many of them are here today, so thank you for being here. These mentors are involved in programs that educate, equip, and encourage women, as well as being resources and guides who will honestly share successes and failures. They share their time, they'll share their talent, they will speak at your events. So please feel free to reach out to them and contact me if you need a connection and would like to get in touch. So from our gender equity study back in 2019, we know that leadership opportunities in travel are perceived differently by gender. The question asked for this chart was, with respect to leadership roles in the travel industry, do you agree or disagree with the following statements? And this is about the workplace. So we had a base of 488 respondents, 330 female, 144 male. Over 50% of men said, yes, I agree that leadership opportunities are equally available to all employees. Just over 30% of women agreed, 20 points between them. So what does that mean? Respondents are split based on gender and lived experience. There's a gap to close. As far as a clear available path for leadership to get to the top, over 40% of men agree that that's a true statement, with about 25% of women joining them. To the right, over 50% of women disagree and 30% of men, another 20-point gap. What about obstacles? So obstacles for getting to the top of travel companies, over 50% of women say bias among management, and only 38% of men agree. And insufficient skills. That's the other call out that's circled here. Men say they don't have the skills, that's why they're not getting the jobs. Only 20% of women say that. So skills are not holding back their movement up the track. They have the skills, they don't have the support, they don't have a company with a clear plan, they don't have sufficient management training in their view. So there are echoes of broader diversity within these gender-oriented questions, and Jill is going to investigate some very real-world examples of obstacles, plans, overcoming, support, and all of these topics with a person who's made it to the C-suite in travel.